Well, hello and welcome people in the internet back to some more Dungeonfell. It's been about 2 weeks since we checked this one out the first time, and over the course of those 2 weeks over Steam Next Fest, the devs were pretty active in pushing out some updates, some ones that I even asked for, and I figured we would jump back and do another run, play with some new characters here. I tried to do a full team of 3, but honestly, this team is pretty good as I've been playing with it, and I've run into a situation where I've kind of stopped earning gold. I don't know why I'm not getting as much gold as I was. Maybe we'll see if it was just a bug in the last couple runs and that has kind of fixed itself. But anyway, this team is very powerful. It's very aggressive, and yeah, should be pretty fun. So if you're ready to jump right in, go ahead, grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back, relax, and let's play some Dungeonfell. Now, I do have 3 kind of key points that I do want to talk about as kind of feedback for the devs, just in case they are watching, or if you are interested in buying this one yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk about each one of these 3 right before we select another like area of the boss. So the first one I'm actually going to talk about right before we start a run because it is relevant to choosing characters. Now, I've been going through and I've only unlocked 2 new characters. These are the only 2 that I've unlocked. So, you know, let's first talk about these characters and how they work. So, the Queen Rowena has kind of replaced our wizard. So if you remember the wizard here, we were using him mostly as a healer, but he also had some armoring capabilities and some AoE. Now armor has changed, so it's no longer armor resets at the beginning of your turn, which we were finding was kind of an issue when we were trying to guard up other units, is that because the wizard was going last, he would armor up a unit and then it would just fall off before any enemy had a chance to attack. That is not the case now. Armor actually stays on until the end of the fight, so you can stack armor pretty well if as long as you can keep enemy aggro under control. So we don't have him for that now. Now we have Queen Rowena, and she has 2 other abilities. She can reset one Delver's cooldowns completely, which is really powerful, especially if you have some strong ones, or if you have a character with fast initiative. Now this is another thing that got added, or I'm assuming it was already added in the game. Now there's just a visual representation of it down here, so you can see characters' health, defense, accuracy, and initiative. So each character has a set initiative, and then before each time you go into a run or a fight, you're going to roll. I'm assuming that this is a d20. The highest I've seen is 20, and it's kind of weird that like 20 would be the ceiling and you wouldn't go up to like 21, 22. So I'm assuming 20 is the ceiling. And so all these characters, you can see they have like base initiative, so it's very likely that Ganyonz will go first, but it's not always guaranteed because King Eldris can go before her if he runs a little bit hot with his rolls. And then the other thing she has here is she can redirect the highest damage attack to 1 Delver, give them 10 armor in Thorns. This is really nice because we can just send everything over to the king, he takes the damage, so on and so forth. But then she can also heal him back up, so it's very synergistic over here. And she can also feed the cooldowns over here on Ganyonz and just keep her attacking and just removing the breakpoints really quick and easy. King over here he's kind of like the upgraded tank that we played last time. So the taunt here is a little bit different. He does not add on armor to himself, but what he does do is only take 1/4 of the damage, but he also retaliates damage. One of the big issues I had with the tank is while you could play him defensively, his shielding, or you had the guard, but then you also had the Thorns ability, and the Thorns was just whenever an enemy hits you, deals 5 damage. Didn't really seem that powerful. It only cost 1 action point, but I literally never used it. This is so much better. He commands his allies to perform attack against the target. So, costs 4 action points. At base, this is going to remove 2 breakpoints because each attack goes off. Any bonuses you have on their regular attack, so for example, Ganyonz, as you level her up, can get lifesteal on her basic attack. This treats this attack as their basic attack. So any bonuses you have, so for example with the wizard, you could actually upgrade his basic attack to be an AoE attack. This would be an AoE attack from the wizard. Very powerful and really allows us to get those breakpoints down very quick early on. The other thing we have is this right here, which allows us to fuel Ganyonz, or really anybody, but Ganyonz with action points, so she can always be attacking, always just really great. really great. It says it's a heal. Technically, I guess it's a heal, but it's kind of not. Yeah, so those are the characters we're going to be playing with. So now that we've kind of talked about that, let's talk about the things before we jump into the run. One of the things that I want to address here is characters and how you go ahead buying them. It's a little weird. So Queen Rowena, I guess technically in the order of these characters, if you go through, technically she is last before you cycle around, but she costs 25,000 gold. So you can buy her at the start. The problem with this system is that if you come up here, so if you remember in the first time, you have these trees that you can unlock and you can, you know, enhance their abilities. You can get different items, different relics that you can use in your items, or like support slot, or relics that you can obtain throughout the run. The problem here is that there's 3 different resources, technically 4, gold is 1, but scarabs you can only find in chapter 1, the skulls you can only find in chapter 2, and the crystals you can only find in chapter 3. Her very first ability that you have to unlock in order to continue her tree needs items from chapter 3. Now, it really doesn't take too long to get to chapter 3, so I am nitpicking here, but I feel like because there are other characters that do this as well. So like if we just look at the tank here, right? The tank here just starts with golden scarabs, golden scarabs, golden scarabs, golden scarabs, and then you can go all the way down. Eventually you'll start getting to skulls, and then eventually you get to the crystals. This is how I feel like every tree should be progressing if you are going to allow the players to unlock any characters in any order with gold. Now, obviously this is different if they're locked behind, you know, different floors. So like if you have to get to Act 3 in order to unlock Queen Rowena, then I feel completely differently, because you're going to only be able to unlock her once you can get those tier 3 those crystals. But if I can get her, like I got her before I actually got to Act 2, but I can't upgrade her. Now, you could argue like, well, why didn't you check the skill tree before? I did. I just liked her kit, so I wanted to play her regardless. And we're going to jump in now. We're going to jump into Act 2 here and play. The other thing that I will talk about here is the corruption, but we'll wait a little bit for that. So I do feel like the upgrading tree needs to be, the cost of upgrading needs to be reworked a little bit. Okay, so we start here with Cajun, and we got 3 units all attacking her. And I think, can we actually see what we rolled here? Yeah, so if you click on each character, you can actually see what you rolled. So we rolled a 10 here. On the king here, we only rolled a 3. This guy rolled a 1 and then a 4. So you can kind of see now why the turn order is what it is, which is super nice. Now, the other thing that we did get, now we have defense and accuracy. So it says to calculate a % chance to hit. Basically, it's accuracy minus defense. That's what your accuracy is. So if my accuracy is 12, the skeleton knight over here, defense is 3. I'm assuming everything is working. If I hit attack, get out of here. Thank you. 90%. Right. So that's how it's being added. Pretty simple maths. Let's see here. So we're actually going to take 2 breakpoints off you. So you can see here with the fact that she has 5 points, and then you can go 3, 1, 1. You can break someone on the first turn, which is pretty powerful. I think, though, I'm just going to weaken one of you, and I'm going to attack you, set you up for the king. There have been a lot of different smaller changes as well, so all of these bats and skeletons have all got buffed. Initially, they were just 3 breakpoints. Now they're all 4. Let's see. So we can go ahead and attack this unit, break him. Let's see. So you're weakened. So we're going to go ahead and send our units over here to attack this bat. And we can hold off because now with the queen having 6 action points, if you do the math, if you remember with action points, every time you reuse one of these abilities, it adds on an extra action point. So if you add that up, it goes 1, 2, then 3. That happens to add up to 6. So on her first turn, she can do 3 attacks. So you can see how this can kind of snowball in the early game and really help you just, you know, keep some of these units under control. So we can actually just go ahead and break this unit. And then what do we want to do for damage? We're doing what? What is it? 12 damage. So I don't think there's any sense in attacking there. I think we'll just start working on this. Okay, we'll hit next. You don't get to go. You do get to go, but that's fine. Okay, let's do a little bit of AoE here. And what do we have next? Let's see. So you're going to armor everybody up. So we want to make sure that we're getting kills. So let's go ahead. We're going to use a team action point. Take out this bat. Now, another thing that is slightly different that's been tweaked. You do not get team action points anymore for winning the run. Or for winning the fight, excuse me. You only get it by getting breaks. So if you want to build those up, you're going to have to get breaks. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of you because I really don't want you armoring up here. Now the queen goes. Let's see here. What do we want to do? I think I'm okay actually just healing here. And we're just going to get an attack off. We're just going to do double regular attack. And that's good enough there. We got to keep an eye on our gold, too. Like I said, it feels like I've been earning a lot less gold recently. Okay, so now we have our upgrades here. Greatly increases AP regen, but loses max 8 HP. I don't think I want that. Attacks one monster and deals 12 damage. If the monster is broken, she gains half an AP. That's kind of nice. Or... Now, ideally, I think I'm going to wait. Plus 4 damage is really nice on the basic attack. But actually, you know what? I think I might actually do this. There is an upgrade that you can get that will give her lifesteal on the attack, like I mentioned, but I think just having more damage is what I want. Okay, so here's the first pause point. Actually, we're gonna wait. We're gonna do 3 more battles, and then we'll hit another pause point so I can talk about the second big thing that I think should be addressed. So let's go for the gold route. Okay, we got some new enemies here. One additional tweak here that I really like is if you want to see what a specific unit is doing, one of the issues that I kind of had last time, right? So you can clearly identify which character is which because they have the little symbol next to their name, right? So this unit is this one up here. But now you don't necessarily need to come up here. You can just hold over a unit and it will open up this window. So he's going to be giving one Delver vulnerable for 2 turns, plus 10% chance to hit. That's not all that scary. Looks like you're doing the same thing, although I'm not sure why the actual action isn't over here, but it is up here. Because we have the attack indicator here, so I feel like there should also be a status indicator, you know, down here. So let's see here. So we can go ahead and start. I think we're just going to worry about... I don't care about these 2 goblins here. So let's just go ahead and break you. And now... I'm going to give you your action points back. Do some damage. And then we'll just, I think, hold on. Actually, let's go ahead and give her cooldown back as well. And so now we do it all over again. So now we're going to double break you. We'll use a team action point. That's fine. We're going to get it back anyway. Let's see. So you're going to regain. The nice thing about having 6 action points too, as compared to 5 from... So the tank and the wizard last time had 5, as does Cajun. You only get... So you only recover half of your maximum AP. So Cajun is only recovering 2.5 every turn. And obviously half is really weird. Having 6 is obviously super nice because you get a nice even 3. Let's go ahead and team... Yeah, let's team attack here. Save our action points. Because now that means with 3, I can get 2 attacks off. Okay, we can get that unit dead. Now, I don't... Oh, no. We can kill this guy just easy enough. Yeah, I'm used to the gold number being a lot higher. Okay, that's the last time I mentioned gold. We'll wait to the end to mention gold. This is a really nice upgrade. Gives focus and regen, so additional chance to hit, and then you regain a little bit of health. Just some nice, like, stability here, right? Because this is also really nice too, I guess. Oh, and this one's really... I do like having this one, but I think I'm going to take this. Just having the regen here, I think is going to be beneficial. Right, because we don't have a great way. So with the tank that we had before, we had ways of gaining a bunch of armor. With the wizard as well, we can kind of preemptively prevent damage. Right now, the only way to actually get that health back is by healing with the queen, and we don't have like a lot of access to healing, right? We do reduce damage here down to a quarter, so having a little bit of regen here could be nice. Now, obviously, our attack here is on cooldown, which is a bit of a bummer. You're gonna be armoring up. There's nothing I can really do about that. So I think we're just gonna... Yeah, we're gonna weaken you. The reason I hesitated there was because if we take a look at the king, and we take a look at this right here. So, the important line here is, butt deals 10 damage back. There is an upgrade. I forgot that I didn't have it yet. That's why I hesitated. So his first upgrade that you can get in the tree gives you an upgrade that you can pick when you're upgrading units. And it changes this to so basically it rereads, he taunts one monster, gives them frenzy, and frenzy doubles their damage, and then redirects them to attack himself. He takes a quarter damage, and he curses from the attack, but he deals the damage that they deal back to it. So he takes like no damage and then just smacks him in the face with a massive hit. I'm very surprised that's his first unlock because it seems very powerful. So let's go ahead. Who am I working on breaking here? I guess the skeleton, because I really don't care about these goblins. These goblins do not seem super scary, and I'm actually going to go for the AoE here. Oh, that was just a straight up taunt. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, well, let's, Oh, I literally can't taunt him either. So this literally draws everything. Ugh, that miss sucked. Okay, we're going to... So this redirects the highest damage. Right, so if I had targeted this guy with his redirect, it would just redirect again. So I had to redirect him. Now I can redirect the highest damage, send him over there, and give him a little bit of armor. So I guess I do have a little bit of armor. Wait, hold up. Why are you not going there? Why are you not going there, bud? Why are you being silly? Maybe he is? Huh. Okay. Don't know why that's happening. Okay, let's see here. Do we want to just go for the A? Let's just go for the... Actually, how much damage is it doing? 10 damage? It seemed kind of weird to do then. Let's just break you. Okay, let's team attack the big boy. We'll throw our heal over here to Cajun. Let's see. I'm actually going to give her... that was a bad target, because 5 doesn't matter. I need to get her to 6. let's just set you up for a break. I'm actually gonna fuel you because he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Break. Actually, I'm gonna heal here. Keep us nice and juiced up. I'm actually not gonna use that because if I do, then it's gonna go on cooldown for the next fight. Okay, we don't want that one. That one's fine. Okay, I think I'm going to take the Ronin Cleave. Try and give her Berserk. As far as these go, none of them are all too great. I guess I'm going to go with more max HP. Or no, I'll just go with 7 armor around 2. Now that armor sticks around. Okay. So now is actually a pretty decent time to talk about number 2, because the decision there is actually also affected by my second thing here, and that is map route choice. So what I've found so far is that it is almost, with the way that the map is currently set up, as you've seen, every single route is split into 3 categories. You can either go for gold, you can go for more skulls or whatever the meta progression currency is for that area, or you can go to a healing room. You almost, without corruption, I would say you almost never need to go to the healing room. Once you get the hang of like the game, or if you're just familiar with these turn-based RPGs, you will almost never need to go into this room. So you're kind of stuck between, do you go gold or do you go with the meta progression? You need money more than any other resource. Every single upgrade you need needs gold. Every single character you buy needs gold. And then obviously these we're getting during the run, same thing with gold, but you don't need as much of these as you do gold. So what this basically does is it makes it so every dungeon is the same. You just go the gold route. And the thing is that each of these routes, you can see here, has different difficulties. So technically, what they're aiming for here is to be like, oh, I really want the meta progression currency, but it's going to be harder. The thing is, there's no real reason to go this route. You really just want gold. So you end up doing the same route just over and over and over. I think that this could likely be fixed. Just instead of having to select one route for 3 battles in a row, because it's fight, fight, boss, fight, fight, boss, fight, fight, boss. So instead of doing that, there should probably be 3 decisions for each fight, and then those should probably be randomized. If you did that, I think I would be fine with meta progression being rewards here. If that's not the case and they want to stick with this 3-route system, I don't know that meta progression is the way to do it, and meta progression should probably just be a base reward that's always given, just for completing dungeons. But the way this is, it's basically always correct to go this way. I feel like it should probably be, you know, general upgrades across the run, so that way you always feel like you're progressing, but I never really feel like I'm progressing in the run. Or I should say I do, but the thing is, it's the progression of my characters is guaranteed at the end of every round. And so I almost feel like there's no real decision making to be done here. This is just kind of a formality. Instead, you should probably have a route that's based on, or that gives you a reward of upgrading your characters. And then, like, if you want to go full meta progression, well, then you're going to get to the end boss and not going to have any power-ups for your characters. But right now, you get the best of both worlds, and so it kind of takes, you know, some of the fun out, I guess, or maybe not some of the fun out, but like just some of that like decision making, I guess, because like I said, there's really just like one option. And so the other thing that led into that. So let's go ahead and Who's doing the thing? Purple, you're doing the thing. All right, let's stop you from doing the thing. There we go. Just do big damage. So one of the relics that the king unlocks is a relic that's it's a one-time thing where you just get 4,000 gold. I have not run into a relic yet that is better than that. Again, like, it's because I'm still trying to unlock everything. I'm sure that's going to change, like, once stuff gets unlocked. But with the way that the game kind of is right now, at the beginning, there's nothing better than gold to progress in the game. So there's really just like... Ooh, yikes. Okay, let's give you some armor. There's just like no reason to do anything but go gold. Let's see. Let's throw a heal over here. We gotta just keep everyone topped up. Oh, that was a bad miss. She's gonna get 2.5. She's gonna go to 4. 10 damage, 10 damage. Okay, so as long as we hit there, we can hit you with that and kill you. We'll just go ahead and give you some armor, protect your health, and then we'll actually heal her up. Oh, I don't need that. Let's see. One monster and deals 11 damage. If this breaks, he gains half an AP. Same thing for her. Got a little bit of inconsistencies here. It's literally the same thing, but you have it written 2 different ways. And then initiative and accuracy. Let's give... She's more likely to break things, so we'll give it to her. Okay, so we got the 2 skeleton boys going up first. Let's do this. We're going to break this one. Oh, I can't because this is on cooldown. Crap. That's actually fine. That's actually fine. Because we can do this, and then we can redirect you. And we'll give you back some AP. And we'll reset your cooldowns. So let's get our, oh, right, it's only if I do it with this crap. Crap. It's totally fine, though. We'll weaken this guy, and we'll just, attack here. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Okay, we'll knock you out. This guy will go. That's totally fine. I'm not going to use that. We're just going to double attack here. Alrighty. Nice. Let's see if he breaks. Increase health and defense. Increase initiative and accuracy. I think we're just going to give him also the increased damage in the break. Okay, so you're coming at Cajun. And you're going to taunt. So I think what I want to do here, I want to break you. I can't get this done either. Because I wanted to use this to get the buff. You can do that. Let's go ahead and redirect here. Get some damage off on this guy. We'll attack there, get a heal off here. Redirect. Okay, let's just go for the kill. Get him out of here. I'm actually okay with him attacking. I'm going to... Yeah, I don't want this armor going out. So we're going to team attack the skeleton. Then we can single attack to break. I'm gonna... Sure thing, it's coming off cooldown because I want to weaken this guy. So then let's just spend a turn healing a little bit. We'll start working this guy down. Gonna save our team action points. This only does 10 damage. Okay, so we weaken, kill. Actually, I'm going to save my action points. Because he's not going to be able to get through our armor, there's no sense in, like, forcing a break if we don't have to. There we go. I like her little spin animation. It's just super clean. Okay, cursed regen. I don't really like going for that. This is actually great. Targets all heroes. It costs more, but I don't particularly care about that. And it reduces the healing, but I think that's fine. It's not like I'm taking a bunch of damage anyway. Gain max HP. At the start of combat, gain is a week. Elite monsters have minus 28. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. That's just like clearly the best one. Okay. So now let's talk about observation number 3. And this one's more about corruption. And we haven't really touched on corruption yet. But corruption is basically like any of these roguelites that you've seen, where it just kind of increases the difficulty for every step you go up. Now, the problem that I see right now, or maybe not problem is the right way to identify it, but what's not working for me, I should say, is that rewards don't seem to be tied to corruption level at all. To be fair, I'm not exactly sure how rewards are being calculated, and I haven't done a full run of corruption, so I've only seen how corruption works mid-run, and I don't see a big change in rewards when corruption is on there. Now, corruption does give you a multiplier to your high score, and it seems like they are trying to drive home this whole high score thing, because if you actually take a look at the Steam updates, part of their roadmap that they put out just recently is that they're looking to have like monthly leaderboards. So it does seem like leaderboards is their big drive to this game, and like trying to make it to the top every month. And so increasing your corruption increases your score multiplier. So that makes sense. You're trying to climb the leaderboard, then you build up your corruption. However, the way the corruption currently works is you don't have to, basically, as long as you have the level unlocked, you unlock every single level of corruption. And if my assumption is correct, by what I have seen so far, that corruption does not change the rewards you get, because that's what I've experienced, then what that essentially means for farming is that all you have to do is you get to the last chapter of the last act, and then you just do that one over and over and over again with no corruption, because there's no sense in adding corruption if you're not going to get more rewards. But what that also means is that even though you can increase the difficulty of the lower acts, you might not be getting more gold. And if gold is tied to the act you're in, which I think it is, we'll have to see at the end of this if I'm getting more or less gold than I did in Act 1. I would assume it would be. I would assume the higher you are in the acts, that it would get tougher, you would get more rewards. And so if that logic follows through, it would make sense that you would just go to the last run of the last act, farm that out with no corruption, just over and over and over again. And then when you're ready to get your score up for the monthly leaderboards, there's never a reason. Basically, the corruption levels, I think there's 15. To me, it seems like it's kind of an illusion of choice, because when you're farming, if it's not increasing your rewards, you just put it down to 0. There's no sense in having any extra difficulty. And if you're going for leaderboards, you just put it to max, because there's no sense in going in the middle, because let's face it, somebody is probably going to be a better player than you. And so you have to just like use that score multiplier to your advantage. And so it basically just removes any need for the middle difficulties. In other games, so like if you look at Slay the Spire is probably the ascension system that I know the best. And mostly that's because I've spent so much time playing it, because the way the corruption or the ascension system works in that game is you have to beat the previous ascension to get the next one. So if you're looking to add, and you as in the developer, if you're looking to add monthly leaderboards to your game, my assumption would be that you want to incentivize players to play your game more rather than less. And so I would think that incentivizing them to do repeated runs to get more corruption would be beneficial, right? Because right now, once you do, like right now we're on the first run of Act 2, right? And there's four runs per act. Once you beat it once, there's no sense in ever going back to it unless you're trying to beat the leaderboard on it. So I feel like, just like in any other game, you should have to beat it at base level, and then beat corruption level 1, and then you redo it at corruption level 2, then you redo it at corruption level 3. And while you're doing that, you're also going to be building up gold. You're going to be building up your skulls that you can use for meta progression. But the way that the system is set up right now, it kind of like disincentivizes you. Not necessarily disincentivize you, but it doesn't incentivize you. It's like neutral. It's kind of like apathetic towards whether or not you replay the content or not. So let's go ahead. We're going to break this guy. And then we can also break you. We'll just get more damage on you. The queen comes up. Double attacks here for a break. We'll also get a heal on her. Get some added damage on here while killing that unit. Come after me. Now you only do 12 damage, so I'm gonna leave that for Cajun. Get the break. We'll attack her with the weak, and we'll double attack for the kill. Don't care about that one. That one's fine. We'll just go for the added defense. That way we can dodge a little bit easier. Because 1 defense essentially amounts to 10% dodge. That's kind of the way you can think about it. I mean, that seemed pretty obvious to me from the start, but you know, that's... I mean, I know that I'm particularly that way with numbers, where, or just with anything, where like I'll be looking at something and it's like, oh no, I totally get it, and then I'll have something explained to me like more in depth. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that just went completely over my head that it works like that. You know, this way makes it so much easier to explain. Let's go ahead and pop. Frick, I'm in that. Well, no, I can still pop him. I just have to use a. Oh, he's at. Oh, frick. Okay. There we go. Break you. Can't break anyone else, but we can send the squad here for some damage. Actually, do I have enough damage here? It's only 11 damage. That's a bit stinky. A bit stinky. That's a kill. Let's redirect. Yeah, we're gonna heal. We can get this AP back quick. Let's see here. You, no bueno. You can come at me too. Okay, there's some weird bugginess going on. Like, why did you do that? And for here, you're not going to be able to break. You can give 2 here. That brings her to 5.5. That's not great. So let's give 2 over here. Oh, right, and we give regen. I totally forgot about the regen, so I probably need to be using that more often. So I don't want to use these right now. There we go. Up comes the queen. Boom, boom. Easy enough. Yeah, this crew is very offensive. Very offensive. Which is something that I didn't necessarily find with the last squad we played with. I guess I'm going to take this. Do you have anything special going on? Or are you just an archer? Gives all monsters berserk and focus, and you got some syntax errors going on up here, some weird formatting. I mean, you're almost a $20 game. I mean, stuff like that shouldn't be happening. Okay, let's see here. What do we want to do? Probably want to get rid of you first. You're just buffing, which is fine. You have 5. I can't do 5. I can do 4. Oh, but that's actually fine, because you're way back here. Yeah, I don't care about what you're doing, so we're going to knock you down to 4. Or, excuse me, we're going to knock you down by 4, down to 1. So break you. Hang on here. What do I want to do? I'm gonna redirect you. And then we're gonna break this unit. Okay, I don't need to use Team AP yet. We'll start working down this guy. And again, we only do 11. Okay, so we'll save Team AP. Let's see, so I can do two attacks. I gotta take you out or you're gonna heal. And then do I want to redirect? You're gonna heal a little bit? No, that's fine. Oh, yikes. Well, we can weaken you. Go for the kill there. Save our points. That's totally fine. We can get 2 attacks with the queen. Go for the break. Nice, nice. You got nothing. Don't use our abilities. Very nice. Very nice. And then, oh, I guess we are stuck. So this is a system. This upgrade system is a little bit strange. One thing I want to check out here. So, like Cajun, like at the end there, we basically always had initiative and accuracy as an option. So it seems like they basically have, I think it was two actual upgrades and then one that's kind of like a neutral one that's just like always available. But I didn't ever see a lifesteal one. Now I know I picked it. I'm wondering if I actually did purchase the upgrade. So like maybe this is just your base upgrade, but yeah, there's some weird transparency stuff that's like I'm not fully aware of that's going on here. Yeah, like so for example, the options are fill team AP once. One random delver gets 3 focus. Now I can't even see what focus is, so unless you know what focus is, it's like I don't understand why you can't like hover over this. Or gain 4,000 gold. Like the clear option is just get the 4,000 gold. Like there's no other better option. So it feels like a lot of these relics are actually just consumables, and so they should probably be broken up and should be put into like. That's why it's kind of weird that there's only 3 options. Like there's only 3 options in between bosses, right? You have your money skulls or meta progression and heals. But there's also not, there's 3 fights for each one of those rewards. So if you go the money route, you have 3 fights before you get your reward. You go skulls, you have 3 fights. So you can't choose reward for each time. And when you have all these like really dinky items that are just basically consumables, especially as you get upgrades unlocked, I'm not sure, especially paired with the fact that one of the things that the developers put in their roadmap was the ability to re-roll. And if you put in that, like, you're never going to take the 1-star options. You're always going to go for like the 2- and 3-star options, which are obviously going to be better. So you're going to just render a lot of your items just kind of useless. So I mean, this is just basically the same fight as last time, right? So I'm not gonna, because I can just do this. I haven't even used that yet, but... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I just frickin' skipped return. Okay, let's go for a team heal. And then let's work down this guy. We can get the break. We can get a little bit of damage. Squad heal. Pass it up to Cajun. Cajun comes in and... can only do 18, so can't get the kill there. Take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. Weaken you up. Pass over. So we get a team heal. Get a kill. Wait. That was the boss fight? Huh? Oh, maybe the actual boss only happens in the last act? Or in the last fight? No, that can't be. That was really the boss fight? Okay. Yeah, that didn't seem like a boss fight. I thought that was just another regular fight. What about in the previous acts? Yeah, okay, I guess these guys weren't much of a fight either. And then this was more of like an actual boss fight. This was more of an actual boss fight. This was definitely more of an actual boss fight. Okay, so yeah, I guess the first one doesn't really count. So in terms of gold, it does seem like I actually did get a little bit more than I expected to, so I'm guessing that the rewards are kicked up just slightly for the further acts. But I mean, if you take a look at like how much things cost, let's see, do you have anything that it costs? Oh, you literally don't have anything that costs gold. Okay, so let's go to someone else here. Let's go to... Probably should have gone the other way around, huh? Yeah, so they're costing like 3,000 on average. And then once you get to the higher end, it's more like 5,000. What about a middle tier character? Like, yeah, Heistotron. That one's going to be tough. I don't even know where to start. Okay, this one makes more sense. So yeah, about 6 grand, halfway through it's 5. So yeah, he's definitely more expensive, right? So there's clearly some balancing between how much gold a character costs to unlock and how much their actual upgrades are, right? Like this guy's got pretty high costs for skulls and crystals. What do we have for cost over here? Same thing. Like if you buy Captain Crook, like you can't upgrade him until you start doing the 3rd chapter. So, you know, it's like, yeah, I get it. You can play the character right off the start, but I almost feel like they should be tied. Like, maybe you have the characters unlocked as you progress through the acts, as opposed to just having gold to buy them. Because again, it just puts like more of a stress on gold, and it's just more incentive with the way that the maps are structured to only go the gold reward route, because that is the resource that you need the most of. And so you just have to get as much gold as possible, because obviously, you know, you want to try out all the characters, and so in order to get them, you have to buy them, and then, you know, you have to go about and actually play them again, and, you know, do your future runs to get more gold and to get all the resources to actually upgrade them. So there's definitely, you know, after playing it the first time, I thought the game was reasonably fun. I thought there was definitely a decent base here. After playing it for another couple hours here tonight, just, you know, progressing through, trying to get these two, the king and queen characters to play, for you guys today, you know, for the game right now on Steam is $18. That's a lot of money for, especially in the roguelite genre. You know, I've talked to a number of people in my comment sections. I know my taste personally, and there's kind of different tiers of how much games cost, especially if you're looking at the Steam store, and what kind of expectations. And I'm talking about my own personal expectations right now. I can't speak for anyone else. So, and a lot of this has to do with market trends, and a lot of this has to do with what games that I personally have been playing in the past, you know, 6 months. So take that all, you know, take that all as part of the package here that I'm going to kind of explain here. So for me, when I've been looking at, you know, different roguelites, obviously I've had a very heavy bias. My channel has been very much built around bullet heavens for the past number of months, and with those, you know, they're very repetitive in nature. A lot of the assets that you use can be reused, and so because they have a pretty quick turnaround time, they can be created pretty cheaply. You know, you're looking in the range from, I mean, honestly, one of the best ones is out there is free right now, but you're looking on average in the range of $3 to $8 is what I would say you can expect to pay when you're looking at a bullet heaven. And so I kind of extend that to other roguelites as well. Some of the higher end roguelites, you know, $8 to $12 to $13 ish. And of course, this is all in US. Is kind of what I expect to see for a slightly higher tier roguelite. Now, those can be more RPG based, but typically I'm not expecting to pay that much for something that's like as repetitive as a bullet heaven. If I'm going to pay that much, I'm expecting it to be a pretty decent quality. As soon as you start getting up to like $20, I'm expecting like top tier quality. I mean, how much is Dead Cells? Is Dead Cells 15, 18? No, I think Dead Cells is 25. Why is 25 sticking out in my head? I mean, Dead Cells is asking 25. That's a game that's worth the amount of money. One that we've been playing recently on the channel is Crawl Tactics. Crawl Tactics, I believe, is currently $20. And Crawl Tactics is a game that, honestly, for one run, for your first run that you do to complete a run, it's going to take you about 4 hours. We are 5 episodes into the series, and I have 1 round to go before we end the dungeon, and I think I'm another like 4 or 5 hours into this one. Obviously, this is taking longer because I'm talking through it, right? Commenting on it. But after I complete the dungeon there, then there's a whole abyssal tower with other content. There's a whole quest. There's like 2 different versions. There's like a standard dungeon crawling roguelite mode, and then there's a more quest-based town building mode. There's, good lord, probably 50 plus classes to pick from and unlock and do all that. There's an entire tactics-based combat system, and again, for 20 bucks. And really no issues to speak of. I really don't have many problems with that game at all. And so the reason that I make all these comparisons is that when I'm looking at that bracket of how much the game costs, you know, I'm, especially for a, you know, when people look at roguelikes, I don't think, because I think, if you're looking at more of like a single player experience, or a, God forbid, a AA or AAA experience or whatever, you know, AAA experiences, people are expecting to spend somewhere between $40 and I guess $70 now is the new standard instead of 60. You know, 40 being on the smaller scale AAA games, 70 obviously being on the larger scale games or the ones that people are delusional enough to think that their game is worth $70. But with roguelikes, I think people are more willing to pay in that lower end bracket. And if you're going to end up paying those higher prices, they're probably going to expect something that really meets those expectations of how much the money is, because there's so much competition in the roguelike genre. This one, to be out and request $18 to buy it, I don't know that it's there yet. Like I said, after playing it the first time, thought it was fun. I still think the game is fun, but how long would I be willing to spend in it? I don't know that I'd be willing to spend, you know, a whole bunch more time playing this one, unless the systems work themselves out after completing the third act for whatever reason. There's just a lot of system synergy. I should say there's a lack of system synergy here that's kind of slowly, as I'm creeping into the game more, starting to see how the systems work together and starting to see kind of like the flaws in the paint, if you will, the chinks in the armor. And it's not quite working for me. I think the combat is really fun, and I think that it's snappy, it's fast paced, but the way that the progression systems work, and for the end goal to be leaderboards, I think there needs to be some big changes into how you get your materials, how you play your runs, and I guess like how things are unlocked, I guess. Well, the three things that I mentioned were the characters being able to be unlocked at basically all times, as long as you have the gold, but you are time gated by when you can actually start upgrading them, which is a little bit weird. You had the map route choice, which right now you only have 3 reward options in gold, meta progression, or money, or not money, excuse me, healing. And money is really the only option that you probably should be going for, which kind of, I mean, you could argue that it's going to stagnate runs, but the reality is whatever reward you take, you're always just going to have 3 battles in a row. So unlike, you know, I don't want to compare it strictly to Slay the Spire, but unlike games like Slay the Spire, where you have options of either, you know, a campfire where not only can you heal, but you can, you know, upgrade. You have regular battles, you have elite battles. Sometimes you have like ultra elite battles. You have different hidden events. You have, obviously, you have blacksmith and Slay the Spire, but not that that makes sense here, but other games are going to have different variations of those settings. Here, ultimately, you're just picking your reward, and then the gameplay is the same every time. So the loop is very repetitive, and even then the enemies don't change all too much. So the runs themselves get kind of stale, so I feel like there needs to be some kind of variation there into how the runs play out. And then the reward system, that kind of ties in there as well. And again, the corruption system, I feel like if you want to incentivize your players to play and actually feel like they're progressing, you can't just give them, like, because if I go in here, go to play, the one that we just did, even this one, I haven't even completed it yet. I can play it at max corruption. Like, I haven't even unlocked it yet, and I can already play on max corruption. So it's like, what is my incentive to do any of these middle ones? Right? If I'm going for, because there's no indication here that this changes rewards. It might. I haven't experienced that. But if I'm going for score, why would I go for 1.4 when I can just go for the 2.2? Right? And so what that would do is, let's say this game does have a following, right? It would incentivize people to play more, because the players who really want to make the top of the leaderboard, they're going to crank out levels. So that way they're going to go, okay, we're going to play it once. Now we have Corruption 1. We play it again. We get Corruption 2. We play it again. Corruption 3. And so the more time they have and the more time they play, the more likely they are to get up to Corruption 12. And then the more likely they are to get rewarded for spending all their time in the game, versus someone could just walk in, maybe be really good at strategy RPGs and be like, all right, crank out the difficulty, and I'm at the top of the leaderboard. And it's like, that's kind of it. There's no real incentive to actually spending time to like practice game or even play the game, or anything, right? Because that's ultimately your goal. I mean, ultimately your goal, because there's no like extra transactions here or anything, is just to get people to buy it in the first place. But anyway, that's a lot of rambling, but I wanted to get those thoughts and ideas out of my head there, because as I was playing, well, you guys get the idea. Anyway, if you had fun with me today, if you liked the game, or even if you just liked the video, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action, and of course RPG action. We've been playing a lot more RPGs on the channel, a lot more tactics games. I've been having a ball. Hopefully you guys have too. It sure seems like it. The videos that have been coming out recently seem to be doing quite well, so you guys seem to be quite interested in seeing the tactics games, so we'll probably do a bit more of them. Gotta do some more research, find out what's good. But guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Ganyonz, this has been Dungeonfell, and I'll see y'all in the next one.